I'm hoping that this will all work out. You never know what's going to happen when you go live, you know? It's ever changing. So I'm using a different device for my live because for some reason my phone doesn't want to do it. So as we wait for the chatters to come on, I wanted to bring in some movement today, some dance. And so what this channel is about is we meet up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11:11, live with love. I am Love. It is a pleasure to meet you. And different things come each I can't even talk. I can talk. Come up each time, just like YouTube working. So we're going to bring in some movement this morning. It's usually 11:11 or thereabouts, but today I'm pretty much on time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. If it's your first time here, welcome. And so we tap into our clair senses. We tap into the earth senses. We also tap into our body senses and our body cells. And, because this whole spiritual experience is about being up in here, not just up in there. In order for us to really experience anything, we need this beautiful vehicle that we have. So it's this beautiful vehicle that we have that we get to maintain in different ways. And one of the ways is movement. And today, I'm just going to take a look at I don't know if it will let me keep looking at the chat or not. So I apologize if I don't see all you guys today. Today is, or between yesterday and today is the time of Beltane, which has to do with Ireland. Ireland, one of my favorite places that I haven't been yet, but was very close to when I was traveling through England. And one of the things that I was participating in was connecting with the Michael Mary ley line in England. And that came up again today about connecting England to Ireland through the Michael ley line. And that's because I'm in a class that has to do with the resurrection code. If you haven't been here before, I've gone through different codes with a particular practitioner. Her name is Kelly Kolodny. So if that resonates with you, go ahead and check out her site and see if you want to be a part of the codes. Because no matter when you start, you always have the replays to do them. But right now, it's a connection to reactivating the avatar within you. Your angelic self also is kind of one and the same. It's all one, really, right? So that whole connecting the soul self and the body self and working together in this human experience is what it's all about. So we're going to have a little bit of movement today. I'm going to bring in some Beltane energies. I know a couple weeks ago there was some fairy energy coming in, and I let you guys know that that also has to link with angelic energy as well. And I wasn't sure why it was coming in, but I could just feel it. And a couple of the cards we were picking from like the Sacred Stone deck had to do with those energies of that realm, right? The magic of that realm. We were bringing in Merlin, and I talked to you guys just basically a little bit about the counterpart, me, the feminine counterpart. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and have some movement. If you're in a place like not a car, where you can do a little movement, maybe you can just move your body in your chair a little bit. This will be good for you. This will be good for your nervous system. It'll just kind of reset you a little bit for the rest of your day. So, and that's a little bit of what we do today. We breathe, sometimes we move, sometimes there's cards picked. So stick around and see what there is for you. So Beltane. We're going to look into Beltane music. I always use copyrighted material for educational purposes only, and you guys can see that disclaimer when you watch this video again. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So Beltane, there's Beltane, and I think there's Samhain, if that's how you pronounce it, which is often associated with Halloween, right? But really, Beltane's they both have to do with fire. And Beltane is this big celebration. Some areas have the maypole, Ireland has the May bush, which sounds funny, right? They take, I believe it's hawthorn branches, and they clump them together to create a bush, and then they put this outside their home. That's the other thing that's coming up, is protection. So they put it up as like a protection type thing, and they have this ceremony between the 31st and the 1st of May, and they decorate it, kind of like, sorry, like a Christmas tree would be decorated. The maypole is decorated also with different colored ribbons, etc. And there's food involved, and there's lots of celebrations. So it seems like we're supposed to be celebrating in some way. So yippee, we're celebrating together today. We're going to celebrate with some movement and a little bit of talk, and then a little bit of cards, and we'll see what comes up. Okay, so that has to do with springtime, bringing in the new. There was a big thing about food at that time having to last all winter long, and then there's this special kind of, I don't know if it's a custard that they make out of flour and a few other spices that they have, that it kind of showed like, hey, we made it through winter, and we had enough flour left over to make this specific dish. I didn't realize Ireland has, at least by this particular person's YouTube, there was a lot of struggle, hard work, and lack going on. And I was like, ooh, I don't really like listening to all this, but it is interesting to know of the history of where some of this is coming from. So Beltane, we're jumping into spring, and so we're going to move a little bit of our bodies, leaving a little bit of the winter behind. Depending on where you are, you might still have snow, you might have rain for spring, and there are plants popping up, and you're thinking about what planting to do. Also think about what you're seeding. What are you planting in your life? What do you want to have grow in order to see what shows up in your reality for the desires that you want oncoming, right? Like going on forward. So here we go. I'm going to check out the chat real briefly. Hello, 49er. How you doing? Yes, let's celebrate. So here we go. A little bit of Celtic music. Connect yourself to Ireland. Take a deep breath for me. Breathe in. And breathe out. It's been a while since we've had some movement on here, and it's one of the things that I want to bring to you guys through my community on my website. So, we might as well move a little bit. Here we go. I believe this is it. Let me know if you guys can hear this okay. I'm going to make sure this is the right one. Hold on. Had different technology things happening this morning. So just start by kind of acknowledging your body. Like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Give yourself a little hug. Hug yourself, love yourself. We talked about that on a different live. This music really moves me. The flutes, the drums. Maybe that's what we need today. We just need a little bit of movement. Maybe there's no cards. Maybe there's nothing else. Just try and get that movement in there. Can you guys hear this okay? Give yourself a little check-in. Tap your pale belly. See that pale belly? Tap a little here. We're just going to get in touch with our body a little bit. Tap a little here. Let me know if you can't hear the music, guys. You never know how loud to put this thing for you guys. We like to drum, right? On our steering wheel. On a table. Right? Get a rhythm going. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully this iPad doesn't fall over as I start to move. Get that belly again. Move the hips if you're in a place to do so. You can move them if you're seated in a chair. This is part of how I keep my butt from falling asleep as I travel from land to land across America. I have a little that I do. And this is really good for the digestive system. Try some of that. Bring your hips around. Take a deep breath in. Just kind of warm it up. Go the other direction. Tap your hands a little bit. Even if you're not a dancer, you know it feels good, right? You know if you move your body one way and another way, you can feel any areas that need attention, right? Do a little tapping on the arms. Get the chest. Right? Feel free to make any noises. Sometimes we get a little vocal here. And just kind of tap your head. Hold your head. Just kind of feel the tones. We're celebrating today. We're celebrating with Ireland. Connecting to the land of Ireland. Where are you from? Where are you connecting from? From your land to Ireland to my land. Right? Put your hand on your heart. Feel your head. Take a deep breath. And let out all the air. Take another deep breath. One more time. Ready? Deep breath. Moving the energy from the top of your body all the way down to your feet. If you're in a place that you can stretch down to your feet, go ahead. I'm going to disappear for a minute. And then slowly come up and just kind of move things around a little bit. All right? Are you in touch? Are you here? Are you present? Are you now? Start to just kind of move your body. What way do you move your body? Do you like to sit still and just kind of like... It's not always about dancing, but it is about circulating the circulation. Move your head about. Smile. Move those arms. Pay attention to your hands. These beautiful hands that create, that allow movement to bring one object to another place. Notice your hands. Can you be grateful for your hands and appreciate? The other thing that happens here on this channel is light language dance. So you don't have to do what I'm doing, but there is a specific kind of music that comes out of each one of us. The tone. Through your motions. You have sound through your motion. And sometimes that comes through for me the moment music comes on. There's that harmonic connection that we're creating with our soul, with our body, from above and below above. Tap your legs, tap your hips, get that butt in there. grateful for today? What's been the highlight of your day so far? What is there about yourself that you can appreciate today? Put your fingers up in your hair. Massage that scalp. This is part of how you nurture you. You show up, get in touch, you smile, be a little silly. This is your day. This is your time. Why are you here? Why are you here, either watching me or moving? Why? There must be some reason. Get those hips in there. Just like shake that butt. Just get all silly. This is about playtime. Obviously you guys are here because you need a little more playtime like I do. Okay. So, how are all of you guys today? How do you feel after moving around like that? I tell you, it feels really good to me. I've been wanting to get back to swing dancing, and I haven't gone. And I think this is the month that I'm getting back into it. It's always an adjustment when I travel from one place to another as to what fun I'm going to have in my life, what excitement of exercise I'm going to have in my life, but not just exercise. I'm not a gym person. I will go. My dad was a bodybuilder, so I know a lot about all that. However, I prefer to be outside, or I prefer to be in like a social atmosphere where I'm moving around. That doesn't necessarily mean I will be social. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, right? Sometimes I just want to move, go to a place, and not have to dance with anybody. In fact, I might just do that. So, I'm going to check out the comments here. Okay, we've got celebration, we've got the convergence of soul, God, and body. Ellen Immortal, thanks for being here. Yeah, convergence, I love that. The convergence of soul and body, heaven and earth, the spirit world and the world of the form. I love that. It feels so good. So let me just I think I'm going to be standing up in front of you guys today because of my technological setup today. Do you guys have any questions about anything particular going on in life right now? Any questions that I can feel into for you? What's coming up for me is currently working with angelic energies, and not only angelic energies, but I guess that there's a wide span of angelic energies. There's like 9, I don't know if I want to call them levels, but you can look up 9 levels of angelic realm. And you go all the way from like angels that appear to be human to angels that are just covered in eyeballs. I was debating if I'd have enough time. As part of my class, I'm to actually draw the Eye of Horus here, and then I think on my heart, on my sacral, on my lower back. I'm going to have somebody else help me with that one. And it all has to do with seeing and sensing in a different way, not just utilizing our eyes to see. And if you haven't practiced, oftentimes, like if someone were to ask me, what's one of the strong clairs that I have? And I would say, like outright, well, it's the knowing. The knowing comes in when I am around another, or if there's a question that comes up, I can feel into the question and then get to a neutral place within here, which is like a still point within the heart, and then be able to have a message come through for that particular topic. I have to find curiosity in it. So far, it's something that needs to interest me in some way, or have some sort of curious, like, I wonder what that's all about. So that's generally where I feel my strength is. Now, I would be lying if I didn't say, when we go through our different breath work on this channel, that as we breathe and messages come through, I guess I never really thought about it this way, because when you hear of people being able to, like, you can hear that car horn possibly, when you hear of people being able to be like clairvoyant, I guess I always have an idea of them like really being able to see a lot. And I have to say, when those messages are coming through, there are visuals that pop into my head. They're either a visual of a movie, and then there's like a song from a movie. That's really how I know songs. I am not very versed in singers, the bands. I'm volunteering in Idaho this summer at the Sawtooth Festival. And I don't know anything about those bands, but I plan to have a great time. It's all about the movement for me, right? If I can dance to it, then I enjoy the music, and then I stay. So I can say there's a clairvoyance happening with me. It's just that there's an insecure human aspect of me that wants to be like, well, clairvoyance is when you're seeing a lot. You're getting a lot of visuals, and I don't know that that's exactly true. Who knows? Maybe as we play with our clairsenses a little bit, it's a little bit of everything that's popping in. Some people have like the clair hearing, where they hear an actual voice. Smelling. There's so many different types. The sentience, clairsentience is also the knowing, I believe, clairsense, clairsentience. So as you practice, the more you practice, don't cut yourself short on the fact that, hey, you might be a little clairvoyant. I think a lot of us might be a little something of this and a little something of that. We're a bit of a mutt in spirituality. It's just that we haven't embraced that muttness, that diversity of the different senses, because we were told that they didn't matter from the time we were younger. We were told that they didn't matter. So that's what we're here for. We're here to kind of ignite that, to spark that up. And we've got that great energy of Beltane coming in today of the spring in Ireland, and connecting with, you think of Ireland and it's like fairies and magic and, pot of gold and rainbows. And that's what I think of. Upon listening to the history of Ireland, some of the history, I was like, ooh, this does not sound magical at all. So I think the part of Ireland that I most am like drawn to is the magic of it. The magic of Ireland, Scotland, England, all these places, Egypt, right? I went to Egypt, and the physical area of Cairo honestly kind of made me sick. Like, it kind of almost literally made me sick. Like the the air quality and seeing that there was trash in the Nile. Just, it was like, oh my gosh, that's such a sacred water space. What is happening here on the side of the world? But I was very, in love with Egypt of old, I guess, hearing through history and the golden age of Egypt was actually around the time of Isis and Osiris. These were actual like galactic beings that came into form that were seen as gods by the humans that were there. So there was this golden age, this successful age of Egypt that happened way before it went a different direction, where they weren't allowing others to have access to the sacred mystery schools and the information. And they were making a hierarchy of, this is us and this is you. And you might say like, well, love, that's kind of what goes on now in our frame, in our world with our government and the people. And then you have the haves and the have-nots. But what we really need to hold is that everybody has. Everybody has. There's a thing that you can go through a certain, I'll tell you, when I went through Egypt, there was a certain area that on the way to Aswan, and leaving Cairo and all that area, and then going out to like more of the country, where you could still see that things were real simple, and how everybody was doing business, commerce and all that. And as people looked out the window, I heard a few comments on the bus that they were like, oh, wow, they're so poor. There's so much. It wasn't dirty there. It was more clean in this town that we went through. And I really looked at them, and I'm watching, just being the observer. And I will tell you that I put like my fingers over on the leader of the group at the time, and I was like, people are talking about how they're so poor, but no, they are not. I was like, look, they have everything that they need. I was like, look how happy they are. Look how they're conversing with each other. Look how there's children playing in different ways. They've got like ping pong outside, and they've got all these other things happening, and I could see the richness in their lives. So how much you have, or have and have nots, or what you categorize as poor or wealthy, really is in the eye of the beholder. And some of the like happiest people don't have a lot, right? And some of the richest people are not happy. Right? And then you have the ability to be both. If you're out there and you have many funds and you're going down the spiritual path, you have the ability to utilize those funds to bring more tools, more holistic possibilities to the earth, to the world, right? That's like one of the things that has accessible. And if you have very little and you can just kind of make things happen, but you're creating a happiness in your life for yourself, and then a happiness in your life for others, then that whole idea of I have a lot or I don't have very much can shift. You can be the richest person in the world, but live very simply. We have people on islands becoming fruitarians and coming up with all sorts of ways to live differently. Some of them are even nude communities. I've looked at some of these communities, and they're like, okay, you have to be okay with being naked. And I was like, yeah, I wonder what that would be like, to be like naked all the time. And do you need to be naked all the time? Not sure. Maybe there's some things you wouldn't want to sit on. I'm not sure. These are the things that come up in my head sometimes. So a little quirky, but yeah, you decide how rich your life is, regardless of what the external is telling you, showing you. You decide how rich you are in your day. You can decide. I've seen the poorest man, the poorest person, take what was given to him and then go and like really enjoy it. Like go and sit by water, sit, you know, go and enjoy it somewhere else, not just on the street. There's a lot of different perspectives out there, right? So let me look in the comments, see what's up. Let's see. Oh, here you guys are. I found it. How are you today? Just going to check in with the chat people. What do I feed my energy is a question. You are able to supplement your energy through source energy. What does that mean? That means that through your breath, you are able to breathe in the cosmos, whether you want to call that universe, God, the all that there is, the oneness. You breathe that in. And oftentimes people will visualize this as a golden light. You can ask your inner self, your inner being, okay, what light do I want to bring into my body at this time? What color? What color am I feeling today? Some of the way that you will know that will be based on what you're dressed like. What did you bring in today? What color is your hair? Like, what colors do you want to bring into your life? That may be the color that you're feeling the energy to bring in from source, directly from source energy, from that God aspect. Because we are aspects, particles in form of the all that there is. So when you're feeling low on energy, they will say that if you can meditate for just 5 minutes, it'll be like getting an hour or two of sleep. And you will see that if you meditate and you set a timer, say, I have like 5 minutes, that's all I have, or I have 2 minutes, you will see that you might want to restart that timer because you start to enjoy what your body feels like. You start to tap into your nervous system, being in that relaxed mode of almost vacation time. That's what happens when you go into that 0 point and you get into that breath and you really feel your belly going up and down and letting it all hang out, like just push that belly out, you know, and like rubbing that belly like you just had a good meal, just getting in touch with yourself more and breathing that source energy in, taking a moment of quiet, complete quiet, where you just allow the mind to empty out is another way that source energy, that your inner being, your highest aspect, whatever you want to call it, has the space to all of a sudden embody a little bit more and move in. It's the kind of it's the kind of neighbor, the kind of friend that you really want to move in, right? Okay, let me check the chat out because it doesn't stay up. Okay. Got the same pleasure experience in the flesh can be experienced in the spiritual. Very true. Yeah. We often get distracted by the physical. Some of what's been also popping in is the feminine and the masculine, the energy of it, sacred unions, divine union, you can call that, or spiritual matchups, maybe. Seems to be a word that's coming up. Flesh is the spirit itself, no dichotomy. Yes, so we are soul in the physical body, and we get to enjoy this physical body. It's part of why we decide to come here in the physical. We come here for the contrast, so that's what we categorize good and bad. And we come here to kind of see how we can elevate in human form, because we're an already elevated, ascended, enlightened soul. I'm going to say that one more time. We're already an enlightened, elevated soul. we're just in a human experience doing this evolution. So it's not about us, in the New Age community, it was about getting to that place of transcendence that your body, like, I don't know, breathed away or disintegrated completely into light, and then you were up and you were out. But at this time, with the energies that are shifting on Earth, it's about all of that happening, the ascension process through the cells of the body, through the blood, through the bones, through all the organs, and remaining in the body and creating your light body here on Earth instead of going somewhere else. And I'm not saying that you can't do that, ascend that way. There are many, many masters that ascended in that way. And thank you to them for holding the light and anchoring that on the planet so that we can be here today as the Earth is shifting into its new energies. The way the Earth shifts in its own energies is oftentimes happens through the weather on this planet. And it was a couple weeks ago that there was a transmission brought through by, her name is Alunia Noel. And it was brought through that part of the way of assisting in the weathers that come up on this planet for Gaia is purging all that basically she's been ingesting from us this whole time. So all the different energies are transmuted by the planet. So occasionally, as things are transmuted and transformed, there's got to be stuff that's released, right? It's like a burp after a good meal. It's like a fart that happens and you're like, oh yeah, that really needed to go. And you don't relish the smell, but you're like, yeah, oh, my stomach feels much better. My digestion feels better, right? So the Earth has the same thing. The Earth is going to possibly puke a little bit, fart a little bit, burp a little bit, but some of the way that we can assist as energetic workers is by bringing love to the Earth. It's by grounding with the Earth. It's by breathing with the Earth. I talked about this a little bit. Could have been my last live that I did. Could have been the one before that. It was recent. So check that out. It has to do with like making love to different aspects in your life, making love to the dishes, the mundane things that you have in life. How do you make love to nature? How do you make love? Do you go out, maybe go ahead and mow the lawn, take care of what you need to take care of, and then get a little cozy on the grass and just sit and observe what it feels like to have that cleaned up, to have that trim, to feel what the grass feels like at that point, to feel the softness, to lay down on your back and look at the clouds. This is a way of you being intimate with yourself. It's a different concept, I know. We think this is how we be intimate with ourselves. Well, yeah, that may be true. But the way we can really be intimate with ourselves, be intimate with the Earth, show love to the Earth, as we sit there and we appreciate ourselves and what we created. Like say you were just mowing the lawn. You just created a creation of a beautifully trimmed lawn. How far did you take it? Did you go around the edges? Are you going to decide to water the lawn later so that it flourishes and it's soft and you can roll around on it? It doesn't make you all scratchy. How do you make love to all in your life? How do you bring that forth? All right, I'm going to check the comments out a little bit here. Having a crush on someone is spiritual. Yes, it is. It's a connection. It's definitely a connection. And when it's received by the other person, you have like an energetic match that happens. One thing I will say is that sometimes when that energetic match happens, how would I say this? It's just something I've been noticing lately. So I'm going to post a video. I said I was going to do it last week, and I've been waiting. I don't know why I've been waiting, but I will post this video. It's basically called Fear of Being Friended. And it's me having a conscious conversation with my inner being about the idea that men have. I hear this more from men than I hear from women. Women don't seem to have, they might get a little disappointed if a guy's not into them, but they don't seem to have the being friended fear that men have. So it's a question I asked my inner being. There's some personal stuff in there, so that's probably why I'm like hesitant to post it. About halfway through, there's a little bit more personal detail. I think I went on a tangent. As you know, on this channel, sometimes I start talking about one particular thing, and then I get into a little bit of detail about something, and then I circle back. That's what basically is happening there as well. So I'm sure eventually, the more practice I have, the more it will get cleaned up. I'm also offering for people to email me questions for me to ask my inner being that you're kind of wondering about, like dynamics of life and relationships and energy, that we can ask my inner being and see what comes through for you guys. I'm really excited about that. You'll be able to just email me at love at onecocreation.com. I always post it in the description of all my videos, so you can find it there. But that's what I'll say. When there's that match, that attraction, a lot of the time, yeah, it's a physical thing first. Other times with the internet, sometimes it's a mental thing, an emotional thing first. Like you're actually having a relationship before you actually get to meet the person. So you're getting to know a little bit more of them, hopefully. Hopefully they're being very accurate about who they are and kind of who they are in life. Yeah, you guys can check out that video and see if that resonates with you. It was a fun topic to cover. Why men are afraid of being friended. And I went into like, I only have experience with, excuse me, I only have experience with men, women. That's really my experience. So I can only go off of that. But I did get into how it's not just about men and women. It's actually about partner and partner, like whoever you're attracted to. And there was something that came in this morning that had to do with the feminine and the masculine. It doesn't matter which gender is the feminine and the masculine, but there's always that match where one person is more of the masculine energy, radiating more masculine, and one is radiating more feminine. And the way the one that is able to radiate more feminine energy and really encompass that feminine quality of theirs is by the masculine really stepping up and like being that, they call it a container, they call it holding space, but just like I got you kind of thing, like I got you, all the doing things that allows the feminine to soften. And when the feminine is able to soften, the masculine is also able to soften in his feminine energy as well, in a totally different way, right? So the dynamics that we have when we match up, right? When we all like, oh, we're like, all right, like it's working kind of thing. Something to keep in mind. If you're in a relationship and stuff starts to fizzle out and you're not kind of sure why, ask yourself if you're trying too hard. Ask yourself if you're not trying enough. Ask yourself if you have good communication with that person. Like just ask them, hey, I'm noticing something's a little off. What are you feeling right now? And, enforce it with, I'm not talking like break up, but I'm noticing something's a little off and I'm wondering if we can fine tune it. Let's see if we can fine tune it and kind of go from there and take everything that is said with as like before you even go into it, like I'm going to take everything this person says as purely information. I'm not going to get attached to it. I'm not going to get defensive about it. I'm just going to take it in and absorb it like a tiny sponge and not make it my own, but absorb it and absorb and observe it, and then kind of move from there. Right? All right. I'm going to check out the comments again. I wish it would just stay up here on my screen, but it's not happening right now. Let's see. All messages visible. Are there any other questions you guys have and are bringing up? Chat view options. Let me try this. You know, for having a graphic design background and multimedia, it was really just in addition to my fine art background. So like the fact of like looking up chats when I haven't used it a lot is crazy. I just don't know how to do it. And now they've totally disappeared. So I can't even ask you any questions. Today must be a technological kind of funny happening day. So one more time. It doesn't want to show me, guys. I apologize. It does not want to get in there. So some of you guys are out there like, yeah, keep looking. Keep looking for that. Keep reaching for that. It's like a person like falling down and trying to get a pen or pencil. That's what's happening right now. Anyway, that's the live for today. I'm going to choose a card to see what comes up. I can't look at the chat, so it's just the way it is today. And I want to feel into what card comes up. There was a quote that came up today I'm going to share with you guys. And it has to do with cultivation. Promote the growth and development of that which serves to bring happiness and success. Here we go about planting seeds again. Plant each seed, provide the water, the sunshine for nourishment. Stand back and watch the growth. Protect the crops. Harvest the fruits of truth, beauty, and goodness. The rewards are fabulous attitudes with tasty moods of spirit. I like that. Tasty moods of spirit. So a little bit of what we were talking about before. How are you going to take those mundane ways of life that you're like, I do this every day, and change it up a little bit? See what comes through. All right. We're going to pick a card. Got my ancient stone deck. Matches my hair really nicely. And we're going to see what comes in that can support us in the messages that have come through on this live. Either live or on the replay. Whenever you see this, you're going to be connecting with what you need at this time. It could be you're to go to England or Ireland. If the beginning of this video resonated with you. What can go along with our connection to the information that has come through today? What does this collective need to hear at this time? What can support us? Okay. Communication. Boundary stones are coming through. Negotiations, contract, and communication. Okay. So I feel like this card has come up before in a previous live. We talk about seeding. Here we've got what is the shape of a seed, the planting, the nourishment, the light. As we bring the light in, you can see the energetic field that increases, firmly planted. We also have the feminine energy. You know, we've got the shape of the yoni here. So the womb space, nurturing yourself. What do we need to know about the womb space? The womb space is nourished by being creative in some way. creation. Makes sense. As we birth through there, that is the area of creation, connecting with the earth, creation. Yeah, again, it's that heaven to earth, where heaven meets earth. It's one of my slogans. You'll see it on my website when it's complete. But all of you are where heaven meets earth, right here within the heart chakra. All right, so that's the card for today. Take a deep breath in and release. Really anchor this energy in and ask yourself, what are your negotiations today? How are you negotiating? Are you coming and meeting in the middle ground? Or are you compromising? Because compromising is giving up little pieces of yourself. It's when two people want to go out for a certain kind of food and one person's like, okay, I'll go out for that food. We can go out for the other one next time. And then it never happens, or something else comes up. Meeting in the middle ground is like, what kind of food do we both want that we can go nourish ourselves with and feel like we both received something that was of value to us? Contracts. Evaluate the contracts that you have currently in your life. We have contracts with family, workspace people, friends, intimate lovers. If you're feeling like something's a little not going well, it might be time to reevaluate that contract, or just open up communication, because that's what this card's all about, communication. Open up. There's a fear sometimes of asking, and the fear comes from waiting and not addressing it. Not like being a man about it, being a woman about it, just addressing it because of the fear of what could happen. But everything is divinely as it is to happen. So if a person's meant to be with someone, they're meant to be with someone. If it was meant to just be for a short time, it's just a short time. This experience is about impermanence. So we have contracts with those in our life that are meant to help us on our journey. And sometimes that's through divorce. Sometimes that's through a breakup. Sometimes that's through a job firing you or you getting laid off. If you think back, there will be signs along the way, either where you're talking to a friend about like, oh, I can't stand my job. I don't like this. I don't like that. I just want something different. Or you've been kind of, the word pussyfoot comes around, pussyfooting it around, where you don't take the initiative. You don't take the initiative to go ask that person out. You don't take the initiative, and you just watch her go out with one person and next person. Maybe you work with that person and you're like, man, I would be so great in her life. She doesn't even know. Or I would so be able to love that guy, and he's only interested in these kind of people. And when you start coming up with these beliefs of, hey, they're only interested in this, or I can't do that because of that, and you come up with all these beliefs, you put a stopper in that flow of abundance, because abundance comes in many different forms, guys. And so don't stopper off your abundance. Keep that valve open so that everything is flowing. When you notice that the valve is closing, like on a relationship, a job, or something, ask yourself, where do I want to be in this? And ask yourself, is this out of fear? Or is this because I really am feeling in my heart that this is the right path? And your inner being might tell you this is not the right path. That's why it's feeling a little off. But you can always ask the questions of the other human involved and see if there's confirmation, because it's not just you feeling it. Usually the other person's feeling it too. The boss is feeling it. The friend is feeling it. It's important to keep those communications open. So remember what you're planting. Make sure to connect with the earth and the cosmos. That's going to bring in the most, your source energy, the stillness, the quiet, the golf swing, the tennis game, the pickleball, the soccer game, the bike ride, the jog, the complete stillness without any types of technical computers on or Netflix on, like complete quiet and stillness. Going and listen to the birds. If you want your mind to center on something, go and say, we're going to listen to the birds right now, mind. And just look. Think about some little opera glass binoculars off Amazon because you can see them really close up. It's really awesome. Where I am right now, there's a ton of red-winged blackbirds. I love it. So I can't look at the chat. I love you all. Everything's been going a little haywire today. And I will see you again. As always, we are one. One breath, one life, one light, one heart. Many different experiences, many different personas, but all one. I love you. I look forward to seeing you again on Monday at 11:11 Mountain Standard Time. You get a chance, go back when this video is saved and leave me a couple comments or an emoji, share, like it. There's ways to support me in other ways in the links below. And just know that you're loved today. And I wish you a very connected and fantastic day. Smile at everyone you meet and see what happens. Talk to you at another time, guys.